indeed, and welcome to the Guest Room Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. That's Kevin over there.
Sugary.
That's Andy.
Lollipops.
And that's KD. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Melt.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. I mean, I don't think we've used that word before in our opening sentence. So
Maybe any of them.
creativity. It's not a true sentence. If I pulled that out of a fortune cookie,
What are you drinking?
Foamy coffee.
makes great
A
fun.
latte.
Because it kind of just looks like, maybe it's the angle and the light, but it kind of just looks like dirty water.
Like sewage
That's
water.
true. It is like the dark part is a lot lighter than usual coffee.
Trust me, I know.
That's
about,
true, it's a
I know-
latte.
I know about sewage water too.
Are you a water guy?
You're a water guy and a car guy.
No.
What?
No.
Kevin's the car guy. He's
And
the
a
one-
computer guy.
Me. No.
Oh, we have Google opened up on our screen. That's fun.
We. Weed.
It's like we're already preparing to take umbrage. Like,
Preemptive umbrage. I've been there.
Google this.
Yeah.
listeners, welcome in. It's a trivia podcast. We play games. We invite you to play along with us. And one of the games we play is the secret phrase game. One of the guest room hosts is assigned a secret phrase by the other three hosts, and they need to sneak it in somewhere in the episode. Sometimes it's done well, sometimes it's not. It's your job to figure out who said it and what they said, and you'll have a chance to submit your guess at the end of the episode for a chance at some guest room merch, some swag, if you will. So listen out. Listen out.
Listen out and shape in.
Idioms, a category I'm great at.
I hope that's what Andy's pub quiz is.
Yes.
All right. Today, we're going to be playing a little game of pub quiz, which essentially each of us has prepared 6 trivia questions for the other 3 hosts, and we want
Pub quiz.
some of them to get it right, but not all and not none.
Mr. Pub Quiz.
Mr. Pub Quiz.
Mr. Pub Quiz.
I'm so pub quiz.
Hey, Mr. Pub Quiz.
Pub Quiz, everything about you.
Hey, Mr. Pub Quiz. Put the pub quiz on.
Oh, if it's
Andy,
your
it's
first
your
time
turn.
here in the Guest Room Podcast, you know everything you need to know about our podcast. All right, so Kevin's going to be starting us off today.
Hooray!
Kevin,
And wins.
oh, dude, just ask away, I guess.
Okay. 1 or 2?
2.
1.
2.
1.
Oh,
Andy still lost.
I know, that was the goal. It was rigged from the start.
Good almost good recovery of your almost fumble there. It looked like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That'll translate well. Number 1. By what name is the monster in Frankenstein referred to in the book? Because we're into reading.
yeah, read a book.
Who reads the most fiction
listeners. Define reads.
Define fiction. Like conspiracy theories are no longer fiction. All right, let's reveal. Andy says Bolthead. KD says Frankenstein's monster. And Mike says Frankenstein's monster. I'm sorry, the correct answer is Adam.
No one knows that.
Well, you didn't.
Frankenweenie.
Number 2. According to the 2014 poll by Rolling Stone,
here.
nope, not them.
Oh.
What Stephen King book was listed as the number 1 book?
This would be a really good question for Kevin.
To answer your question, I would say you.
I haven't read a fiction book since.
You were uploaded.
I think the last one I read was The Hobbit. When I was like 8.
Let's reveal.
Fiction sucks.
Andy says Dark Tower. I would almost agree with you. KD says Dark Tower. Mike says The Dark Tower. Sorry, it's The Stand.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
2 people said that, by the way, in case you didn't hear that.
We are a cultured group, y'all. Number 3.
Group, y'all.
The true story of Santa Claus begins with St. Nicholas. In what modern-day country did he originate? Or was he from, I should say?
Yeah, it sounds like he's KD.
Yeah.
He just originated in LAX.
All right, let's reveal. Andy says Russia. Katie says Netherlands. And Mike says Turkey. The answer is Turkey.
What?
Mike, how did you know that?
We talked before the podcast.
I ran a Christmas trivia thing for our youth group a month ago, and that was one of the questions.
I just had to get
Targeted.
something about it. No, I just wanted to get the drop in.
Targeted. Because only one member of our podcast would know stuff about trivia.
Or Turkey. Number 4. What author coined the term nerd in the 20th century? What author coined the term nerd in the 20th century?
Literature.
I don't get very many points.
Does it prove you know more about literature if you say literature?
No.
No.
No. No. Andy says Pharrell. Let's take a moment and think about that answer. What's going on in your head?
He was in the group NERD.
Oh, I think that was funny. Funny.
It was an attempt. Katie says Dr. Seuss. Mike says Theodore Geisel, in parentheses, Dr. Seuss. It is Dr. Seuss.
Whoa. Complete guess on my part.
Katie just pulled out a Dr. Seuss answer,
I was like, I had written Ian Fleming. I was like, that's stupid.
which is notoriously like an anti-Katie answer.
That's right.
Number 5. Using just 12 letters,
I knew it was 12.
name the 4 female protagonists in Little Women.
The 4?
Yes.
Zach loves Little Women, by the way.
They all have very short names.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's why you can use 12 letters to do it.
Yep, I knew that. And I wrote those names down
The 4 of them
on my board.
that you read when you were 7 or 8.
It adds up.
All right, let's reveal.
That's all that matters.
Andy says, women of a tiny.
Yeah, Little Women.
Women of a tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. KD says, little women's.
Also right.
Women's?
I said women's.
Women's. Mike says Joe, Amy,
Mary.
Mary, and Ellie. Did you count the number of letters on your board?
I tried.
How many did you come up with?
I came up with 12. I see now that it's less than that.
I see now that it's more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
That probably means it's 12.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
4, 4, 3, 2?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more.
That's 13, which is different than 11, as Katie has been made aware.
True.
No, you were half right. The answer is Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy.
Meg. I would have never come up with Beth.
Yeah, Beth is the longest of the bunch. Takes up a third of the letters all to itself.
Yeah, it's kind of rude.
All right, number 6.
Self-aggrandizing.
What U.S. senator read Green Eggs and Ham as part of his 21-hour-long filibuster?
In the year.
Please repeat.
What U.S. senator read Green Eggs and Ham as a part of his 21-hour-long filibuster?
Is this a good filibuster or a bad filibuster?
Isn't every filibuster a good filibuster?
Depends on what it's filibustering.
We could make that into kind of an adjective. He was full of filibluster. No, that would be a noun. It's already a noun. Also, I added an L. Filiblustery day. Everybody ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, no. Andy is not ready.
Wait,
He's just resting. He's high energy right now.
ready with
Okay, I'm ready.
Women of the Tiny, but you're not ready.
Yeah, I got this one now.
Women of a tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, a tiny.
Yeah.
Flock together?
All right. Andy says Phil Buster.
Filibuster.
Yeah,
Nice.
Filibuster.
I see that.
Filibuster.
I see you.
Yeah.
KD says John McCain as if he would care about
No.
anything at all enough to filibuster.
Yeah.
And Mike says Pharrell, which is a much better answer. I'm sorry, but Ted Cruz was the correct answer.
I thought about Ted Cruz.
2.
What do you think about
1.
0.
it? 2. Wow. I did well on that?
Yes.
You did well on that.
Okay. All right, it's me.
Okay.
It's a me.
And the theme today for these questions, the Pub Sixer, is surplus of Final Jeopardy ideas.
Oh, gross.
So these were all not necessarily word for word, but taken from all my extra Final Jeopardy questions because I don't have enough Jep boards. Question 1.
Can't you just make some Jep boards?
That takes a lot longer than just getting rid of my Final Jeopardy questions.
Yeah, but eventually you're going to have to make those Jep boards.
Yeah, but by then I will have so many Final Jeopardy questions that I'll have the same problem.
Well, you got the 2, the 3, the 4.
Yeah.
The storms.
It goes up to 15.
What are we still talking about?
Sharks,
Sharks.
pool, billiards, the balls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Do you know the 2-ball? 2-ball king?
I think it's
Blue,
it's definitely
solid
solid
blue.
blue. I think solid for sure.
don't
But I think it's
remember.
blue.
Question 1. Sweden has the 5th most lakes in the world at 22,600. Which country has the most, more than quadrupling the second place country?
Again,
Sweden has the 5th most lakes in the world at 22,600. Which country has the most, more than quadrupling the second place country?
why
I just wanted to give you a frame of reference.
couldn't you have given us the second place country?
No, because I didn't want to give it away that
Did
it
this
wasn't
not
the
fit
first
in
place
your
country.
Superior Lakes
Well,
category?
that one lake in Russia is gone now.
Wait,
So that's-
yeah! Because of a horrible socioeconomic or something decision that made Katie mad.
Yep.
Rip.
The land formerly known as the Aral Sea.
And then there's the lake with all of the goldfish that were
In
growing
Minnesota.
too large.
Yeah.
We talk about lakes a lot. Then there's
Tanganyika.
Tankini.
That one. Yeah.
Martinis.
All right, we've got answers. Kevin
No
says
weenies in betweenies.
the U.S. Andy says Russia. And Katie says Canada. It's Canada with 879,800. It's a lot of lakes.
It's a significant lake
You're
to person.
telling me that Lake Michigan and Lake Superior are bigger than like Great Slave Lake?
Either that or Great Slave Lake's not a lake. But I would believe it because Great Slave Lake is in the north, so on maps it gets kind of warped.
Not on a globe.
When was the
It's
last
weird
time
that-
you looked at Great Slave Lake on a globe?
Like almost every time I look at a globe
Where is that?
in Canada.
Canada, north of
It's weird that Canada's lakes
U.S.
ended on a round number. Like exactly.
Well, go
700.
dig a hole and change it.
Like it wasn't like 33. I don't know. It seems weird.
Okay.
Seems oddly specific is all I'm saying.
I'm guessing that the number of lakes is often
Estimated.
changing and estimated. Yeah.
Oh, this looks like 879,000 lakes.
Regardless, I don't think it was close. Question 2. Who is the richest hip hop rapper in the world? More than quadrupling the second place rapper.
What is a hip hop rapper? That's what I want to know.
Easy. Easy.
Easy?
Easy, I think.
G-Eazy?
It's not easy.
I think it's easy.
It's just me, myself, and I.
There's a flea, a flew, a fly.
I don't know what a hip hop rapper is.
Hip hop. Hip hop.
As most of those country rappers.
You don't have to dig into the semantics on this one. This is just what the source material called rappers, I guess.
Well, you're the source material.
No, I'm the vehicle. All right. Kevin says Drake. Andy says Jay-Z. Katie says Jay-Z. He's the second richest rapper
Darn it, Dr. Dre.
with 1.3 billion. No, Kanye has 6.6 billion.
Oh, what?
No way.
Well, he must have accumulated that in like the last 3 months because I saw an article like 3 months ago that he had dropped under $1 billion.
Maybe it's taking into account other possessions or something. But yeah, he's supposedly worth $6.6 billion. And that was, I think, I may have gotten that question about a month and a half ago.
Well, I'm not going to take umbrage because they would have gotten it right if I did. So,
Please take umbrage.
no.
Do it. Fight for me.
We have Google up for a reason.
Question 3. China, Russia,
China.
and North Korea each have larger navies than the USA. Which South American country's landmass is more than quadrupled by the USA's, but cracks number 5 on the list?
Ask these questions in some weird
Weird ways.
Well, I had to get the word quadrupled in there
Why?
because it's a theme. like a secret theme that I gave away in question 3 that has no meaning or significance?
You have no meaning or significance.
That's fair.
What do you think, Andy?
Can you say it again?
China, Russia, and North Korea each have larger navies than the USA. Which South American country's landmass is more than quadrupled by USA's, but cracks number 5 on the list?
So initially, my gut reaction was Ecuador because they have the Galapagos, and so they need like boats to go out there.
By the way, navy size is measured by warships plus submarines.
That was my initial, but I didn't go there. Or maybe I did.
This country
To the
would have-
Galapagos?
Did you?
Will you? Are you?
All right. Kevin says Argentina. Andy says Brazil. KD says Argentina. It is Colombia.
Darn.
I don't think U.S. more than quadruples Brazil's
No, it doesn't.
size.
It probably doesn't more than quadruple Argentina's.
Oh.
I mean,
close.
Alaska's pretty big, guys.
Yeah.
So is Vermont.
Alaska. Question 4. Which automobile manufacturer makes 2 of the top 4 most stolen vehicles in the U.S., I should say made, in 2021, the total thefts of which nearly quadruple those of the 5th place vehicle?
Wait, these are
I
vehicles
hate
made in
everything that's coming out of your mouth.
Wait, these are made in 2021 vehicles?
They were 2021 thefts.
So you come up with a question, be like, what does that quintuple?
Quadruple, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin
You
says
said quadruple in the last question.
Toyota. Andy says Kia. KD says Honda. It's Honda.
They only made 4 different keys for the Accord and Civic between
wasn't-
92 and 96.
But wasn't the Kia the one that they had the USB thing that you could just like steal a car with USB?
I don't know.
This is like playing chess against Magnus Carlsen.
If you're,
By the way, I played Chinese checkers the other day, and
it's a good game.
the game I'd be most likely to win.
Kevin would crush us in Chinese checkers.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely dominate.
100%. By the way, the top 5 vehicles were Chevy pickup, Ford pickup, Civic, Accord, Camry. Kia nowhere to be found. Question 5. Wyoming has the lowest population of any state, while Alaska and the Dakotas round out 3 through 5. Which is the only other state that has fewer than 900,000 people and whose landmass, even when doubled, would be quadrupled by Wyoming's?
Why? Why though?
It was the mushroom cloud for me.
I'm between 2,
Rock and a hard place?
3. And Andy, are you Googling the answer?
No, I'm looking up something else we asked earlier.
No. Should I pick my first, second, or third one?
Third. I say that like I really care.
Third.
All right. Kevin
It's
says
probably my second one.
New Hampshire. Andy says Delaware. KD says New Hampshire and crossed out the correct answer of Vermont.
Darn. Come on, Kevin.
Which I mentioned like 2 questions ago.
I know.
Question 6. Who is Luxo Jr., whose total number of jumps quadruples his total number of eyes smushed?
Stupid.
Repeat.
Who is Luxo Jr., whose total number of jumps quadruples his total number of eyes smushed?
Eyes. Spell eyes.
I. Apostrophe S.
Do you know it?
Your question helped me.
Where you're going to?
I hope-
Do you
I don't
like the
understand.
things that life is showing you? All right. Kevin says Pixar lamp. Andy says Luigi. KD says Pixar. The lamp from Pixar. You are correct. The lamp from Pixar. The other lamp is Luxo Senior. I got 3 on that.
3.
1.
0.
KD, you.
Ooh, you got shut out.
I've got shut out in the last 2 categories.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're going for my record.
Oh my god.
Hey, if you want, I'm going to go for mine.
Nobody gets that reference.
Nobody gets that. KD.
All right, question number 1. Soho is an area in Lower Manhattan. What does Soho stand for? All right, let's reveal. Mike says Southampton. Kevin says Southern Hostility. And Andy says South Hudson. I'm sorry, you all got the South right, but the Ho is for Houston Street.
Huh. Houston Street.
Which, isn't that the name of a baseball player?
You thought someone would get that right.
Not really.
But it's just Huston, right?
The baseball player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Second question. What is the most widely recognized word worldwide? What is the most widely recognized word worldwide? All right, let's reveal. Mike says coffee next to taxi and banana. Kevin says no. Andy says stop. I'm sorry, the answer is okay.
How do they measure that? Like most countries,
They interviewed all
most people.
They interviewed
all the
everyone.
people.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
You going to get that survey last week?
No, I don't answer my phone. Don't call me, please.
Oh, man. Mike, when do you think the last time I called you was?
You don't because you're my friend.
It's been over a decade.
There's probably been like, I don't know, hey, can you go back and get my keys from your car or something like, I don't know. Like a just functionality type of call, but not to chat.
Well, yeah. Who would want to do that?
Gross.
Question number 3. What did Napoleon have hanging on the wall of his bedroom in the Palais du Tuileries?
What's the Palais de
The Palace of Tuileries.
What's that?
I think it's where he lived, considering his bedroom was there. What did Napoleon have hanging on the wall of his bedroom in the Palais du Tuileries?
So if we name anything that was in fact hanging on his wall, we get a point?
At this point, I mean,
Who told you this was a good question?
I just looked for questions on the internet.
You just said, hey, what's a question I can ask?
Yeah, actually, I just Googled, hey, what's a question? And this is what came up.
That's a question.
All right, let's reveal.
I wrote an extra S.
Mike says a horse head. Kevin says tapestries.
Oh, that's good.
And he says a baguette.
Whoa, is that
I-
a blast from the very, very deep past?
No.
We've talked about a baguette before on our podcast, but it was like
French, like
super
a
early
baguette. I have one, spare one.
Oh, it's the Mona Lisa.
Oh wow.
That's kind of a tapestry.
Yeah, it's not exactly a tapestry, but
Not really.
I should have just said a painting.
And it would have been the flamingo question all over again.
True.
To the nearest whole number, what is normal walking speed in miles per hour?
Normal for who? Like the mean?
Prowls.
Have you taken umbrage with every single question on this set?
We like have a mass total of
6 points.
well, he's got 5 all by himself.
True.
I have 3.
I have
That's 8.
4.
Okay,
And he
so
has
we're,
0.
we're at 12 between all of us after
I think it's just 12.
a lot. Yeah.
It was 12.
Can you say the question all over again?
To the nearest whole number, what is normal walking speed in miles per hour?
Normal.
I just like I've been on a treadmill before, but do I want to be walking fast or slow? Is the question.
Probably right in between there.
Or false.
First one or second one? And what's better, first or second?
They're about the same.
That's real. Mike says 16.
Mike, what? 16 miles an hour?
Oh no, I misunderstood. I was thinking 16-minute mile pace. That's my bad.
Oh my God.
Kevin says 3, and Andy says
You
3.
say Bolt's walking around out here.
And the answer is 4.
See, that's just wrong. Like nobody wants to walk that fast.
I mean, I want it to be 3 so that we 3 can get points, but alas, I don't. Next question. Whew, man, that was a bad answer, Mike.
I misunderstood the question.
I mean, to be fair, you've asked some bad questions.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good question, but the other 3 were bad.
What are the 6 colors on a Rubik's Cube?
Am I get a point this time?
Yeah, you finally asked a very gettable question.
I wouldn't have gotten this, I don't think. Reveal. Mike says blue, green, yellow, red, orange, white. Kevin says red, orange, yellow, blue, green, white. Andy says white, yellow, red, green, blue, orange. I think you all wrote the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then that's right.
Only if we write the same thing, is it right?
What would you have answered?
Red, green, yellow, blue, orange, white. What would I have answered?
Yeah.
I may have come up with that, but it's not something that's like in my
When
brain.
was the last time you held a Rubik's Cube? And
Whoa.
I mean what I said. Not solved, held.
Probably since the last time I called you on the phone.
My nephew's like a master of
Yeah.
Rubik's Cubes.
Everyone knows
He's
one.
good.
He's really good at it.
My problem is my brain doesn't work in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, he's just so smart.
Oh, did you always stink at those problems where you had to calculate how many square feet of paint you needed on the cubicle structure?
No, because you're still dealing in 2 dimensions there.
Just
Yeah.
I
multiplying
mean, you
them.
kind of have to think about
surface
3
area, though.
dimensions
No, you just
where the shapes continue in the back.
It's just surface area.
surface area.
It's more like
Okay. My bad.
what's the volume of a cone or something like that.
No, it's like, okay, so here's a really impractical way in which it comes into play in my life. So when I go out at night and I sit in my hot tub and I look up at the stars and I think, all right, so
Secret face time.
it's the winter.
No, it's too quiet for that.
It's the winter, and I'm sitting in my hot tub and I'm looking at the stars. Where will the stars be in 2 hours? Okay, so the Earth is tilted this way, and because it's the winter, we see the stars like this. So in 2 hours, the stars will move in this direction. I try to like move my head back and forth
Yeah,
to
but-
try to figure out like where it's like I just can't I can't visualize like in 3 dimensions like how it's going to be.
That's a different thing. That's like more than 3 dimensions.
I'm
That's
just
like
telling you
interstellar stuff going on.
No, that's 3 dimensions. What time? I'm
yeah,
not
you
trying to
still
figure
got
out
time. You got gravity, which is apparently a thing.
What?
That's a lot more like
You
the
ever
Rubik.
seen Interstellar?
No.
That's a lot more like Rubik's Cube than painting a cubicle.
I think colors on the outside of a bunch of cubes stuck together is more like a
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
But I can figure out how many squares are on the outside of a Rubik's Cube. It's 54. It's not that. It's a 3-dimensional like solution.
Is that 9
to,
times 6?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
Jarring peaches is creamy at Nordstrom's. Did you know that?
What?
They jar peaches at Nordstrom's?
Yeah. Well, actually, only some of them. It's the ones with the E-bar, which is like their Starbucks
I have
deal.
a theory.
What's that?
My theory is that KD, like in his pod that he was like birthed from,
Is that like
that
like
it
in
was,
the Matrix?
It was kept in like the basement of a Sears or something like that, and he just
Mervin's.
yeah,
Sears,
a Dillard's, a Nordstrom,
Dillard's.
whatever,
Nordstrom.
and
Nordstorm.
so
Storms.
like all of his memories come back to department stores.
Yeah. It's weird.
So you're one of the people that says like that puts S's at the end of stores. Nordstrom's, Fred Meyer's,
You know, I don't usually,
Kroger's,
Sears,
but sometimes I feel like I have to.
Aldi's.
Ross's.
Basha?
True Values,
Is it Basha? Basha.
Fraz's.
Basha, I think is how it's pronounced.
Ah, yes.
Boss Hoss.
To the nearest 10, how many rolls of toilet paper does a person use in a year?
Okay, you're back to really bad questions.
So off with this.
Okay, how many do I use? And then subtract like a lot.
That's subtract all the toilet paper that you use for blowing your nose. I think most people use like tissues or don't.
Actually, I saw a little video on Facebook the other day of a prisoner talking about how many rolls of toilet paper per week they were given in prison. There's a lot of prisoners. That would do a lot to the mean.
I hope one of you gets this right.
I doubt it.
because that's the goal of this game.
All right, to the nearest 10.
Specifically, I hope Andy gets it right.
Guy who doesn't go to the bathroom.
Andy's like 2. To the nearest 10.
This
2.
seems so high.
I'm feeling really low. So
I'm feeling really high. Still.
I'm going to change my answer. It may be stupid, but I'm changing it.
In a year?
There's.
In a year?
I'm changing my
year.
answer again.
but
Yeah.
like
Change. Mine's way too high.
I wonder what you
I
did
feel
right.
like you guys are going to think I'm way off, but this is what I think is normal.
Okay.
I've almost halved my first answer.
All right, let's reveal. Mike says 30. Kevin says 80. Andy says 50.
And you've almost halved?
I was at 150 to start.
Oh my goodness.
The correct answer is 50.
Gee, one a week?
I changed it and I got it right.
One a week? You're using a seventh of a roll of toilet paper a day.
Dude. I've used half in a sitting before.
I just keep wiping.
What does the toilet look like?
It's brown and white.
And white. Yeah, and white.
I just keep wiping.
Red.
The wiping is like there's a brown Sharpie down there. Anyone?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like,
Wow.
are you just really bad at it?
No. No.
He was born a bad wiper. Really
Then-
inefficient.
Like I go deep.
Then
Okay.
parents,
Sometimes we talk about tissue in the toilet. Other times we talk
Wow. There's a blast from the
TP
past
in the
too.
toilet.
it's Andy's turn.
That it is.
Yeah, I got one on that.
1.
2.
1.
Okay.
Why?
Because you're so good.
Yeah.
Andy,
Okay.
finish us home.
The theme of this one is movies, and I'm going to give you 4 movies. You
I
will
can
have to
just
tell
take
me
them home?
which of the 4 is the highest rated on IMDb as of today.
Ranked or rated?
Rated. So just give me one, not the ranking.
Is
Just,
Board Game Geek involved?
it's IMDb today. Okay, first question
Okay.
By critics or by audiences?
by audience.
Oh.
Now, Andy is notoriously not great at movie categories.
It's true.
I'm wondering if this is going to be is this a knowledge situation? We'll see.
Question number 1. American History X, American Psycho, American Pie, or American Hustle? Which one is the highest rated among audiences? American History X, American Psycho, American Pie, American Hustle.
Is the next one going to be Canadian things?
All right, reveal. KD says Hustle. Mike says Hustle. Kevin says American History X. It's American History X.
What is that?
Speaking
heard
of
of it.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton as a white supremacist.
Yep.
Sounds like a documentary.
There's a curb stomp in that movie.
Yeah. Second question. We got second question.
Statement.
Statement. American History. Oh, no, I did that one. King's Speech. The Lion King. The King of Comedy. Kingsman. Secret Service.
Repeat.
The King's Speech. The Lion King. The King of Comedy. Kingsman. Secret Service.
I can't decide how I feel about this category.
Well, it's multiple choice, so that's like giving yourself quite a few points, probably.
Like, I kind of like it, but I also hate it because I know nothing about movie ratings and haven't seen
Same.
most of these.
Okay, reveal. Kitty says Lion King. Mike says Lion King. Kevin says Lion King. You're all correct. It's Lion King.
Mike, I need you and I to guess different things at some point.
Question 3. Shaun of the Dead. Night of the Living Dead. Dead Poets Society. Deadpool.
This is the toughest one
Yeah,
yet.
it's tough.
Shaun of the
again?
Dead. Night of the Living Dead. Dead Poets Society. Deadpool.
I thought
Wow.
the first one was pretty hard.
All 4 of these movies have fan bases that are diehard about them. Shaun of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dead Poets Society, Deadpool. Oof.
Hoof Benito.
Oof, Luigi.
Hoof Juan.
Got an answer, Katie?
Mhm.
Okay, reveal. Katie says Dead Poets Society. Mike says Deadpool. Kevin says Deadpool. It's Dead Poets Society.
Let's go.
That was my second guess.
Question 4. Life of Brian. Life of Pi. It's a Wonderful Life. Bad Boys for Life.
I like what you've done with it. I still don't know how I feel, though.
I would hate it because I don't know. So a lot of these I typed in movies that have the word king in them. And then I chose 4 of them.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Life of Brian. Life of Pi. It's a Wonderful Life. Bad Boys for Life.
Okay.
Okay, reveal. Katie says pie. Mike says pie. Kevin says wonderful. It's wonderful.
Wow, really?
It's a Wonderful Life. And like out of that one, I think that one's like way surpassed the other ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
People loved Life of Pi. Like
Not me.
that was
Critics.
So yeah, but you don't often agree with critics.
He's not talking about critics. He's talking about audiences.
audiences.
Okay.
I'm an audience.
Okay, going the other way. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Alien versus Predator. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Godzilla versus King Kong.
Please repeat.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Alien versus Predator. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Godzilla versus King Kong. All right, reveal. Katie says Alien versus Predator. Mike says Scott Pilgrim. Kevin says Scott Pilgrim. No, I'm sorry. It's the Mitchells versus the Machines.
I've never heard of
Heard
that.
Either have I. But it was on the verses and it scored the highest.
Wow. I had seen AVP and I knew that couldn't possibly be the top.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I own it.
Last question. The Hunt for Red October, Red Dawn, The Thin Red Line, or Red Planet? The Hunt for Red October, Red Dawn, The Thin Red Line, Red Planet.
I think the scoring here might be a nail biter.
This is fun and hard.
I know what it's not, or what it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Reveal. Katie says October. Mike says October. And Kevin says Dawn. I'm sorry, it's The Thin Red Line.
No!
Never heard of that.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, it is.
No! No! That is a horrible movie.
Horrible.
It's ranked really high.
Oh my gosh. Oh. I didn't go when when I rented that movie, I was like, "Oh, this has a good cast. It's probably going to be pretty good." But I didn't have any like expectations. Like nobody had talked it up, nobody had talked it down. I was like, "Oh, this is probably going to be a pretty good movie." I might have to like I wasn't thinking about that movie when I put together my worst movies of all time list. I might need to rejigger my list to include The Thin Red Line. It was a terrible movie.
Who's the cast? What's it about?
It has Sean Penn, Adrian Brody, Jim
Caviezel.
that guy, Ben Chaplin, George Clooney, John Cusack, Woody Harrelson,
Wow.
Elias
Sports Bureau.
Rodius, Nick Nolte, John C. Reilly, John Travolta.
That's a lot of.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't you be like, wow, this sounds interesting. A lot of people were in on this project. I should watch this. No, please don't. No.
Would you not wish it upon your enemies?
Okay, so let me give you the ratings on that one here, just so you have them, since you're interested in this one. So Red Planet is
Red Planet. I don't even know what that is.
5.7.
Yeah,
That's with Val Kilmer.
that's nothing.
Red Dawn is 6.3.
I'm surprised it's that low. Is that the new one or the old one, though?
The old one,
Really?
yeah, 1984, and The Hunt for Red October 7.5, which
The Hunt-
that
The
should be
Hunt for
higher.
what?
I had October written down, but
Rectober.
Rectober,
The Hunt for Rectum?
Rectober,
I had October down and then I changed it to Dawn.
and then the Thin Red Line is 7.6, barely edges Hunt for Red October.
Wow.
Let's go. I'll go on and rate The Thin Red Line.
I thought you were
as
just going to
0.
do Red.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Helen Mirren and Bruce Willis, which I haven't seen.
People
You want
love
to
it.
look that one up? Let's see what it is.
Sure.
If it would have won.
I bet it's
Oh, Bruce
6.8.
7. So it still wouldn't have beat The Thin Red Line,
Which
a great movie.
Great
apparently.
movie. People love it.
Love it. Love it. What'd I get? 3
Oh, wow.
2.
3.
I won that. I know nothing.
for a grand
about
total of 5 for me. I didn't win.
7.
7.
that. 7.
Oh!
I told you it was nail bitery.
There's drugs!
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been thinking it meant this whole time?
I don't know.
All right.
Is that our first three-way tie?
We still haven't come
Yeah.
up with a tiebreaker, have we?
No.
After 100 and...
I think it's who has the most umbrage with any particular question,
What?
so it's me.
No, I wasn't umbrage with an answer.
That's semantics, but okay.
Final score is 5 with Andy.
Five with Andy.
5 with Andy. The rest of
I
us
5 and you
have
7.
7. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Listeners, please let us know if you did better than 7. That was horrendous.
Please let us know if you did better than
7
7.
out of 24.
Wow.
Yikes.
We barely got over 24 between the 4 of us.
Yep.
Wow.
Like my set of questions was terrible. No, that was the worst set.
No, I think it was Michael's.
Man, I thought mine was pretty good. You just didn't like the extra facts I threw in there.
No, no.
I had carefully curated questions from which I got 3 points.
Like I think your only good question.
Wow.
Is
Was
this
question one?
critics or fans?
Was the first question. You had a couple.
Is that the
okay-
one you got right?
No,
Oh, no, you didn't get that one right.
I got the last one right. You had a couple okay questions, and then you had like 3 real bad questions.
I feel like they were all in the same theme except the last one. Listeners,
Kevin's questions were just like he wasn't doing it on this podcast.
yeah, I hated Kevin's questions. Not only were they hard, they weren't fun.
You'll have fun. If it's going to be hard, make it fun.
Yeah, at least
Let
maybe
me laugh
answer
at my pain.
Frank and Weenie
I don't
instead
want to
of
cry at my pain.
Adam. Listeners.
Listeners. Listeners.
The Guest Room
If you're being
Podcast
screwed right now, you're being screwed hard.
at gmail.com if you wish to opine.
Please do.
Please submit your SPG guests to the Guest Room Podcast at gmail.com with SPG guests and the episode title in the subject line. And if you're right within 2 episodes of this airing, you'll be entered into a monthly Guest Room drawing. Oh, secret phrase time. The best time of the end of the episode. The secret phrase 7 days ago. Do you guys remember who said it and what they said?
I do.
I think so.
I do
do.
because it's so fresh in my mind. Because it was said after I told people to email us at theguestroomspodcast@gmail.com. It was magnesium tablets. Pac-Man looks like foam.
Did on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say that you tried harder or less hard than the board that you put together for Katie to win that he did not win?
I don't know how to answer that. It was the worst. I don't think I've ever tried
Less hard,
less hard.
other than the board.
Softer? It's the opposite of trying hard.
Dying hard.
You like to be softer?
I forgot that I had the phrase, guys. I totally forgot.
I figured.
I've done that.
I'm sorry. It looked like I had a stroke on air.
Looked like.
YouTube, here we come.
If you haven't checked us out at patreon.com/The Guest Room Podcast, be sure to do that. Make sure you're sharing your year-end wrap-up and all the episodes on your socials so people know about us. That's how we grow as a podcast. So it'd be great if you guys could let
I
people
wouldn't know what that would be like.
Yeah, we have no idea what social media is or how to use it, but
Nope.
you do. I wonder what... I haven't checked the Reddit thing in a
Should
while.
check that.
Yeah, me neither. Like, occasionally I'll think, oh, this is the type of question that I'm wondering about that Reddit should probably know something about. And then I'll like go to Reddit and I'll try to type it in as a search query. And then
You
I
get
get
lost.
like, it's not lost. It's just like the search results or the threads or whatever that are there. It's just like, this doesn't really seem to apply to anything. Reddit is a dumb place.
That's how I feel about Slack.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that. Sorry if I offended anyone, which I'm sure we do every episode. Listeners, thank you so much for listening. All right, from all of us here at the Guest Room Podcast, for KD, for Andy, for Kevin, and for the guy named Houston Street, I'm Mike. And as always, farewell.